David had just moved into his dream home, a quiet suburban neighborhood with trimmed lawns and peaceful mornings. He wanted privacy, safety, and a fresh start. So when he installed a modern smart lock on his front door, he didn't expect it would spark a neighborhood scandal. The moment that sleek device clicked into place, his nosy neighbor Susan noticed, and she didn't like it one bit. Within hours, Susan was pacing her driveway, muttering about unauthorized upgrades and violations. Her teenage son, Tyler, recorded videos of David's property, claiming he was documenting HOA rule-breaking. David ignored it, brushing it off as classic neighborhood gossip. But that night, he noticed something unsettling. His backyard motion lights flicked on. Through his window, he saw Tyler standing by his pool, flashlight in hand, pretending to inspect. David stepped outside and asked firmly, "Can I help you?" The boy just smirked and left. The next morning, David's phone buzzed. It was a voicemail from the HOA. "We received reports of an unapproved security system. You'll need to remove it immediately." David frowned. "They can't be serious," he whispered. He didn't realize this was just the beginning of an HOA nightmare that would drag the sheriff, his property rights, and one shocking secret into the spotlight. 2 days later, David woke up to sirens outside his house. Confused, he peeked through his blinds. A police car was parked in his driveway. When he stepped outside, the officer asked, "Are you David Mercer?" He nodded. "We received a 911 call claiming someone was installing surveillance devices around homes." David's jaw dropped. "That's ridiculous. I installed a smart lock on my own door." The officer sighed, clearly aware this wasn't an emergency. But before he could leave, Susan and her son appeared, waving HOA papers. "He's breaking neighborhood security rules," Susan shouted. "He's filming everyone." David calmly replied, "The lock has no camera." "Susan, you could have just asked." The officer glanced between them and said, "Ma'am, you can't call 911 for HOA disputes. It's misuse of emergency services." Susan's face flushed red. "I just wanted to protect the community." As the police left, Tyler smirked and whispered, "You'll regret moving here." David felt a chill run down his spine. Later that evening, he checked his backyard cameras. Tyler's reflection appeared again, near the pool. This time, he wasn't just inspecting. He was holding a wire cutter. David hit record. He had proof now. The next morning, David emailed the footage directly to the sheriff's office. Within hours, Sheriff Harrison, an old acquaintance from his military days, called. "Dave, I saw your footage. We'll handle this carefully." By noon, a patrol car rolled into the neighborhood. Susan rushed outside, already ready with her printed HOA violation list. But her expression froze when the sheriff walked straight to David's door. "Morning, Dave," the sheriff greeted warmly. "Mind if I take a look at your security setup?" He inspected the smart lock and shook his head. "This is perfectly legal. Joe has no authority over this." Susan interrupted. "He's lying. His system spies on us." The sheriff raised a hand. "Ma'am, I just verified it. There are no cameras." Then, turning serious, he asked, "By the way, where's your son?" Susan blinked. "Tyler. He's home, I think." David exchanged a look with the sheriff and gestured toward the backyard. "You might want to check there." They walked around and froze. Tyler was inside David's pool, trying to retrieve something shiny from the bottom. David's camera that had caught him trespassing. The sheriff's tone changed instantly. "Ma'am, this just turned into a legal matter." Susan's confidence vanished. The sheriff crossed his arms. "Tyler, step out of the pool." The boy hesitated, embarrassed, dripping water. David stayed calm but firm. "I just want him to stop trespassing." "I'm not pressing charges yet." Susan rushed forward, pleading. "He's just a kid." He was curious. The sheriff shook his head. Curious doesn't mean breaking into private property. As Tyler stepped out, David noticed something odd, a small waterproof device in his hand. "What's that?" he asked. Tyler froze. The sheriff took it and examined it. It was a mini recording device. David frowned. "You planted that on my property?" Susan gasped, realizing the trouble they were in. "Tyler, tell me that's not true." The sheriff looked at them both. This could be considered illegal surveillance. Susan stuttered. "We were just worried about neighborhood safety." But David's patience finally broke. "You invaded mine." The sheriff sighed, taking notes. "We'll file an incident report. I suggest you let things cool down." As they left, Susan muttered, "You'll regret embarrassing us." David stared after her, feeling both relieved and uneasy. Because deep down, he knew Susan wasn't done yet. The next morning, David found a letter on his doorstep, an HOA fine for property violation due to unauthorized security equipment. It was signed by Susan, the HOA vice president. He laughed bitterly. Of course, that afternoon he met with a local attorney who told him, "HOA can't fine you for something not in their bylaws." Document everything. David started compiling every interaction, every voicemail, every fake complaint. He also added security fencing around his pool. Meanwhile, Susan was losing sleep. Her neighbors had started whispering. Word spread fast that her son had been caught on camera trespassing. Her reputation was cracking, so she decided to flip the narrative. She called for an HOA emergency meeting, claiming David was a threat to community order. But when the meeting began, the sheriff himself showed up, invited by David. Susan froze as the sheriff announced, "The HOA's actions are under review for misuse of power and false reporting." Gasps filled the room. Susan's control was slipping. Within a week, the HOA's board received official notice from the county. A legal review was underway. Susan's leadership privileges were suspended. David quietly watched as her allies avoided her. The neighborhood that once feared her began to smile again. Kids rode bikes freely, and for the first time, the cul-de-sac felt normal. But David wasn't gloating. He only wanted peace. Then one evening, Susan appeared at his door. Her eyes were red, voice trembling. "I went too far," she said softly. "I just wanted people to respect me here." David sighed. "Respect isn't forced, Susan. It's earned." She nodded slowly, looking toward her son waiting in the car. "We're selling the house." For the first time, she looked human, not like the HOA tyrant everyone feared. As she turned to leave, she paused. "You're a good man, David. I hope you enjoy your smart lock." He smiled faintly. "I plan to." A few weeks later, David received a letter. This time, not a fine, but an invitation. The HOA wanted him to join the new board as a community advisor. He laughed, shaking his head. But something inside told him to accept. Maybe this was his chance to make things right for others who'd been mistreated. During his first meeting, the sheriff dropped by to congratulate him. "Seems you're the HOA's new peacekeeper," he joked. David smiled. Someone's got to keep the locks on this neighborhood. Working properly, the irony wasn't lost on anyone. The man once accused of rule-breaking was now the one setting fair rules. Later that evening, as the sun dipped over his pool, David reflected on everything: the chaos, the embarrassment, the peace that followed. Sometimes battles don't end in victory or defeat, they end in understanding. And that was the moment he realized the best kind of revenge is calm, dignity, and that was the final twist in this unbelievable HOA story. If you loved the drama, don't forget to like, subscribe to Karen Really, and drop a comment sharing your thoughts. It really helps this channel grow.